Hello and welcome to mTuitive. The following presentation is a demonstration of the mTuitive authoring environment. One of the most pressing issues faced in software development today is determining how to rapidly create custom applications. mTuitive has a unique and powerful solution to this very problem. The mTuitive Expert Authoring Environment enables domain experts and knowledge engineers, or anyone with expertise in a specific field, to rapidly develop software solutions for decision support, procedural compliance, and structured data capture, without requiring the utilization of software programmers. When working in the mTuitive authoring environment, there are multiple ways to create structure. If the information you are using to build your structure is available in another format, such as a text document, it can be imported. For our example, I'll import an inspection report. It's important to note that changes to the structure can be made here prior to importing. When you're satisfied with your structure, click Done. As you can see, we now have a visual representation of the imported file. Structure can also be built by using our shortcut keys. And the existing structure can be modified quite easily by using the keys at the top of the screen. You can also use the drag and drop method. The structure is defined by using these buttons at the top of the screen. Let's leave the first two sections as structural, but the date will need to be a free text entry. We'll select Date and indicate to the end user that we would like the date in this format. Under the address of the inspected dwelling, next we'll select Number. Indicate that should be a free text entry, select Number, and we'll restrict the total digits to 7. Next we'll highlight Street, select Free Text, General, and we'll restrict the maximum length to 50 characters. Next, we'll highlight Name of Inspector and indicate that should be a pick list. Since there are only 3 inspectors that work for our company, we'll add their names as list options. When defining list options, the author can allow multiple selections, create default selections, indicate whether or not a list option is selectable, and they can create an opportunity for the end user to create a free entry. When working in the authoring environment, it's easy to transform structure to a pick list. Highlight the section you wish to transform and click this button. As you can see, these two sections have been transformed. To define a field as required, simply highlight the field and click Required. To define a field as hidden, simply highlight the field and select Hidden. Next, we'll define a field as an attachment section. For our example, we want the end user to be able to attach photos of the inspected building. The author can set restrictions, such as the file types allowed, the minimum number of attachments, or the maximum number of attachments, or also the maximum size of the attachments. The author can designate an image for the end user to annotate. Let's do that now. Simply preload the image for annotation by using the drag and drop method. The area on the right side of the screen is designated for rule creation. We'll begin by creating an availability test. First, we'll highlight the section to which the availability rule will apply. Click New Condition. We're going to indicate that Describe the damage is only available if the answer to this question is no. We'll select the appropriate text, equals, no. Now this field is only available if the answer to is the main free of rust, corrosion, and leaks is equal to no. Next, let's take a look at the alert feature. This tool enables the author to create alerts for the end user. First, we'll click New to create a new alert. Next, we'll specify the alert message. Finally, we'll specify the conditions that trigger this alert message. We're going to specify the conditions using the drag or drop method. This alert message will fire if the answer to are the pipes corroded equals yes, or is the main free of rust, corrosion, and leaks equals no. Next, we'll take a look at the Required Binding tab. Here we can specify the conditions under which a section is required. Otherwise, it's optional. For example, if the end user enters a value in apartments, we would like the number of apartments to be required. To create this rule, we'll ensure that number is highlighted and the Required Binding tab has been pressed. Next, we'll use the drag and drop method. Apartments has value. Next, let's take a look at the function key. The authoring tool can be utilized to perform any mathematical function. We'll create a rule to calculate the total number of square feet for the end user. First, we'll ensure that total is highlighted and the function key is pressed. Okay, we need to create a new derived value, and we'll use the drag and drop method. The total will be the first floor plus the second floor. We can also specify the conditions that trigger this value. For example, this calculation will be performed if first floor has value and second floor has value. Next, let's take a look at the Hints and Information tab. This feature is a powerful way to deliver knowledge to end users at the appropriate place in the application. The end user is being asked about weather conditions. Let's provide a link to weather.com. We'll click New, title our reference topic, and add the appropriate website. Finally, we'll indicate where in the report this specific piece of help information is available. Reference material can also be dragged and dropped into the authoring tool. When linking to a website, it's also possible to create a contextual search utilizing information the end user has already placed in the report. Finally, let's take a look at the Properties tab. This feature is used for associating a section or list option with an alternative representation. We'll begin by selecting the region to which we would like the properties to apply. We're going to assign codes to the different types of water supply lines. After selecting the Properties tab, click on New Property. Finally, we'll assign the alternative representations. Thank you for joining me for this demonstration of the mTuitive authoring environment. To schedule a web demonstration, please contact us at telephone number 508-771-5800.